Since 6 came out, most of the old confusing instructions are gone. Now it's straightforward: object plus style plus details. For example, if you're creating an image of a road junction, you can just describe it as you see it in your mind, mentioning any specific details like colors or effects. Top view photo of complex road junction: black, yellow, red and blue colors in a realistic style with dramatic lighting. The junction is in a big city. Cars have motion blur trails. This means you can add something about the object in another part of the prompt. It's not necessary to indicate that the climax is specifically in a big city at the very beginning, and not every prompt needs to specify details. Sometimes an object is just an object, like high cylindrical nail polish cap plus 3D icon style, orange and pink gradient, matte plastic, white background. And if the result isn't quite right, here's what you can do. Regenerate. Sometimes just making a new image without any changes does the trick. Rewrite the prompt. Tweaking your description can help fine-tune the results. Use vary. If you like an image but just want to adjust it slightly, this option lets you remix it. At first, regenerate. Each generation creates a random seed, which determines the random data based on which the image is generated. If the initial prompt isn't too detailed and or the S parameter is high and the 4 images are far from each other and from the desired result, simply generating a new image without changing anything is a viable option. Especially often we just need to regenerate without changes when we're trying to create text. For example, we need a bright cover for a YouTube video with the text 2024 trends. Write text 2024 trends made by colorful glowing matte plasticine on black background, stylized set on 1000 and aspect ratio on 4:3. In this generation, the only variant of normal text in a style very far from what we need. We just repeat the generation a couple of times until we get this. The top right turned out to be just what was needed for this task. Second, rewrite prompt. There is no point writing synonyms and changing the word order. It has about the same effect as changing the seed, which already happens automatically. But adding something to the description or cutting something off with Command No will help to get closer to the result. For example, for a bar menu, we need a stylized illustration of a margarita cocktail. Write glass of margarita cocktail, single color, slightly blurred, black print on a green background, low quality detail, vintage poster printed on a risograph, aspect ratio 3:4. By the way, if you like one of the pictures a lot and you want to change something but stay as close to it as possible, you can try to use the same seed. Point to a message in Discord, click on the emoji icon and find the .envelope letter there. I like the bottom right option, but it looks a bit dirty, and I also want to add olive. Add with olive on a toothpick, add parameter no with grunge, scratches and scuffs, and at the end of the prompt add the parameter seed with number. Not super close, because changing the wording changes the generation path after all, but still much closer than if we do the same thing but without seed. We've also found a new weakness. Everyone jokes about the number of fingers, but in fact the web is full of such oddities. The important thing is to spot them and try not to exploit them. Here we see that Midjourney has problems with combining toothpicks with other objects. But in general, saving seed when changing prompts is not the best solution. If you like one of the results, it's better to make vary. Third option, make vary. If you like one variant from the set but want to refine it, it is more logical to make vary with remix mode enabled. Remix mode allows you to change the prompt for each variation. It can be enabled via the settings command. For example, we need a pattern with bananas for a cover in social networks. To type chaotic bananas pattern on blue background. Flat, simple vector, illustrations, clean colors. The fourth picture fits. I just want to remove longitudinal pieces and shadows. First click U4, then choose Vary, subtle or strong. Depends on how close you want to stay to the initial version. Let's try subtle. Add to the prompt with Vary and no shadows slices. Because of the proximity to the source, the generation can't remove any bits or shadows. Let's try strong. We couldn't remove the shadows, but at least we were able to remove slices. What is the conclusion for this particular case? Vary doesn't give what you need, and it's better to use a new generation with a slightly modified prompt. But to have an example with the result, here's another case. Like we need a mock-up to show a book cover. Prompt is a white book stands on a white rock in the middle of a white desert. The book is a mock-up. It is bathed in warm colors and dramatic light with shadows of a palm leaf lying across its cover. we get a good result, but we realize that there is not enough contrast, so the stone would be better black. And the palm greenery in the frame draws attention to itself. The changes are serious enough for very subtle to cope with, so we don't even try it. And immediately adding a couple of modifications to the prompt through the remix, we make very strong. We got exactly what we wanted. Of course, all of this is just scratching the surface of Midjourney. To use the prompting experience effectively, you need to know its weak points and problems. Check out our video highlighting the most popular problems with Midjourney and how to solve them.